Presenting Meet the Editors, a conversation with Premier Travel Media's editorial team.
Okay, you're good?
Yes. Thanks so much, Jeff. I'm doing great. Appreciate it. And happy to be here with our team today. We have joining us Heather, Chris, Dave, and myself. And we're excited to give you this overview of Premier Travel Media, our various brands, and some updates on the landscape. So before we dive into the individual brands, I wanted to take a quick step back and give a high-level overview of Premier Travel Media for those who aren't as familiar with the work that we do or are still new to the travel industry landscape. So Premier Travel Media was established in 1999, and we built our business around being a niche media specialist within the travel industry. So that means we work specifically with group travel, so leisure group travel, student travel, sports tourism, and various others that you'll learn about today, all are part of our core family of brands. So we focus on these highly specific audiences, and that helps connect destinations and travel brands with the exact type of people and decision makers that they're trying to reach. Today, we have 5 wholly owned brands at Premier Travel Media, which each serve a different segment of the group travel market. So each of us on the team will walk you through in more detail what each of those are and the work they're doing, and also some of the trends shaping that sector of group travel. So in addition to the work that we do with our 5 brands, we also work with a variety of custom publishing partners, such as tourism offices, CVBs, and travel organizations to help create content for them that's aligned with their goals and reaches the right people at the right time. We're also part of our broader array of audiences. Across all of our platforms, we reach about 160,000 people, and we work with more than 320 advertising partners. All right, so with that context, I'll go ahead and hand things over to Heather. She is our managing editor, and she will be covering the Student Travel Pro brand for us.
Thank you, Courtney. Hi, everyone. My name's Heather, and I manage Student Travel Pro, which is a digital media platform that's built specifically for educators, primarily middle and high school teachers, as well as school administrators and student tour operators who are seeking educational experiences beyond the classroom. We make field trip planning easier for teachers while also aiming to make educational experiences both safer and more impactful for students. Because we focus on experiential learning, everything we publish here is designed to help educators bring classroom concepts to life through in-person experiences. From an editorial standpoint, our content is highly teacher-focused and practical for both educators and student trip planners, with the intent to help answer real questions that educators are asking, such as how to fund field trips, how to manage group logistics, what are some of the best destinations that align with curriculum standards, and how to create meaningful experiences that really engage students. We translate these field trip challenges into step-by-step planning resources to help teachers navigate the process, also focusing on classroom connections and tangible educational value for students. So rather than writing about great places to visit, we really highlight destinations that know how to work with students and are also equipped to handle group logistics. More importantly, we support educators throughout the entire field trip planning process, from ideas to execution, post-trip resources. Now, in terms of what we produce, we publish 3 digital guides annually, including our core publication, the Student Travel Planning Guide, as well as regional Northeast and Southeast field trip guides that reach about 50,000 educators and planners. We also distribute a bi-weekly e-newsletter to over 20,000 subscribers, along with downloadable planning resources that focus on things like trip logistics, safety, and field trip funding opportunities. From a partnership perspective, we work closely with destinations and attractions through SEO-driven content development and marketing, as well as directory placements and advertising opportunities. What this means for your clients is that since educators are thoughtful planners and they're really looking for resources they can trust, they connect most with brands that help simplify logistics, but also support safety and keep trips within budget. And these are all things that we cover at Student Travel Pro. Because student travel decisions often involve multiple participants, such as teachers, administrators, and even parents, there are numerous opportunities to connect and influence decisions. And we're seeing lots of trends right now in how educators are actually approaching student travel. The teachers really want experiences that directly tie into what students are learning in the classroom. And there's a really strong demand for experiential trips that go beyond sightseeing. At the same time, we're seeing a big emphasis on safety and structured planning, along with a strong need for funding solutions and budget-friendly trips. There's also a growing interest in career-focused and hands-on learning experiences, as well as in the number of destinations that are developing dedicated programming specifically for student groups. And our content at Student Travel Pro is intentionally designed to meet these needs. What sets us apart from all other brands is that we're not just inspiring educational travel. We are helping educators execute it by providing practical content specifically designed to be usable and aligned with how teachers actually plan their field trips. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. That was a very helpful overview and gives a much better perspective of our student travel market. So I'm going to hand it over now to Dave, who is our associate publisher, and he will give us a look at leisure group travel.
Hi, I'm Dave Bodel. Leisure Group Travel Magazine and leisuregrouptravel.com help group travel professionals create enticing, group-friendly itineraries. Insightful destination editorial written by professional travel writers include both popular and off-the-beaten-path locations. Our planning tips offer best practices and solutions that help group travel organizers manage and grow their business. Our audience includes tour operators, niche travel groups, affinity organizations, bank travel clubs, bus companies, and group travel agents. We produce 12,000 print distribution, 30,000 digital distribution, published 6 times per year since 1994. Our website platform is approaching 7 million impressions. Our weekly Insight newsletter has more than 10,000 subscribers. Through continual research and industry involvement, we stay knowledgeable about trends that are impacting group travel. From these trends, we develop an editorial calendar planning articles and best practices that will assist group tour professionals build innovative itineraries that grow their business. Let's just take a look at a couple. Culinary-focused adventures now top the activity trends list after years of steady growth. This reflects a broader move toward experiential travel. Today's travelers want experiences, not just a meal. In our February issue, The Big Picture, feature explored the dynamic world of food tourism with 4 influential figures from the culinary world. We took the culinary trend to a more local level. In a Go-To Mississippi special section, we featured 6 destinations and their restaurants with award-winning chefs. As a side note, you'll hear today the word experiential a lot. It is no longer a trend. Group travel has become all about the experience. Another major trend moving to group tour planners is adventure travel. The definition is being rewritten with more emphasis on cultural and soft adventure, and it's beginning to show. We found that 73% of the operators saw revenue increases and 66% higher profits, driven by new customers and product innovation. Travelers appear willing to pay more for meaningful experiences rather than basic trips. We are well into our June Adventure Travel edition with the editorial is awesome. Let's talk a little bit of how we work with our clients. Earlier, I mentioned that our editorial focus is to provide our readers enticing group-friendly itineraries. Beyond that, we have a product that helps destinations tell their itinerary story. We are able to do that for clients, working one-on-one to create itineraries that work for their destination and our reader. Closely related to itineraries are site inspections. While itineraries are day by day, site inspections are an overview of the destination. Think of it as a familiarization tour or a FAM tour, in print and online. Our writers are quite skilled at working with clients to create these itineraries and site inspections. We talked earlier about keeping our editorial relevant by following industry trends for our editorial calendar. Where it becomes very real is when we take a deep dive into those trends for each individual edition. Finally, we work with our clients providing matching showcase content for select features. When our editors and writers work with an individual client, it's just not about a writing assignment. Let's talk some more about our trends and some takeaways. We talked about group travel trends and how our editorial focus is impacted. We would like to leave you with something else to take away. The dollar economic impact of the group travel sector is significant. Look at these numbers. In 2024, the group travel sector had a total economic impact of $158 billion in the U.S. economy, which supported 890,000 part-time and full-time jobs and generated $27.7 billion in taxes. For your destination clients, that $27.7 billion is music to their ears. Lodging, food and beverage, transportation, attractions, and services all contribute at the billion-dollar level. Before today, it was likely you have heard from our marketing and our business development managers. I appreciate your time to take a look at how a leisure group travel edition comes to life. From our digital and operations to editors, writers, production design, it is a committed team effort. After years of my involvement in this process, I will never grow tired at how wonderful our publications come to life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. That was a great overview for leisure group travel and some really powerful numbers that show the strength of the group travel industry and what we can expect in the years going forward. So with that, I will hand it over to Chris, who is our associate editor for the Sports Planning Guide brand. So he'll give us a look at what's new with Sports Planning Guide.
Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate the introduction. I'm glad to be here today to talk a bit about Sports Planning Guide, who we are, and who we serve. Sports Planning Guide is built to help the sports tourism industry connect and grow. At its core, SPG is a media and marketing platform that brings together event planners, rights holders, and sports organizations with the destinations and venues they need to run a successful event. What makes that connection meaningful is how we do it. We combine editorial storytelling with targeted digital marketing. So we're not simply listing where to go. We're helping planners understand why it works and how to execute. Since 2009, that approach has positioned SPG as both a planning resource and an industry voice, especially when it comes to highlighting the economic and community impact of sports events. From an audience standpoint, we reach planners across multiple touch points. That includes our annual print and digital guide with more than 10,000 in distribution, a bi-weekly insight newsletter, ongoing website content, and active social media channels. We're meeting planners where they are throughout the entire planning cycle. From an editorial standpoint, everything we produce connects planning insights with real-world application. Instead of simply talking about trends, we show how they play out. That comes to life in a few different ways. Yes, we produce destination and facility profiles, but we go deeper with storytelling, highlighting what makes them the right fit. For example, that could mean showcasing how a state like Florida has positioned itself as a year-round soccer destination, or how Mississippi is blending its youth sports with local culture to enhance the overall event experience. We also invest heavily in long-form, research-driven content. That includes features on topics like volunteer development, grant strategies, and challenges like pricing and accessibility in sports tourism, which of course isn't just a problem we're seeing at the professional level. These aren't surface-level pieces. They're built to help planners address real problems. And then there's our interview work, including the Faces of Sports Tourism series, where we highlight industry leaders and decision makers, giving readers a closer look at how the industry is evolving. Finally, a big piece of our strategy is state partnerships. I can't emphasize this enough. We currently work with 14 state tourism organizations to create dedicated guides, combining sports and leisure storytelling to give planners a more complete picture of each destination. This brings us to how we work with our partners. Our approach is both collaborative and long-term. Many of our state partnerships have been in place for years, which allows us to continue refining and expanding how we tell their story. Each state guide is customized, and there's a strong foundation, including dedicated sports and leisure features, as I had mentioned, that highlight where to host events and what the overall experience can be like. Beyond the guides, we build out broader content campaigns. That typically includes multiple articles over time, not just one-off placements, so we can build awareness and keep destinations consistently in front of planners. We also integrate that content across all of our channels. It includes web, newsletter, social, and creates multiple touch points for engagement. Everything is built with long-term visibility in mind. Through SEO-focused content, SPG stories continue to generate traffic and value well beyond their initial release. It's a steady presence for our partners within the industry. To wrap up, there are a few key trends we're seeing across the sports tourism industry right now. First, I'd like to explain what we call the World Cup effect. Major global events drive unprecedented interest in host cities. Fans visit, stay at hotels, shop, eat at restaurants, and the trickle-down extends to surrounding areas as well. All benefit from this spending. Hosting an event like the World Cup brings in top-tier demand, and at the same time, the sport sees a surge at the youth level with increased interest and participation. Interest in soccer, for example, surged in the US back in '94 when they first hosted the World Cup, and we're sure to see it again in 2026. This goes beyond the World Cup. This goes to NCAA. It will extend to the Rugby World Cup in 2031 and 2033. It's a wide range. Meanwhile, sports trade shows are evolving as well. They're becoming more focused on building meaningful connections between rights holders, planners, and destinations, rather than just transactional meetings. The U.S. Sports Congress is a great example of this, with more intentional networking, whether that's small group outings or shared experiences at the host destination. And underpinning all of this is the data. In the most recent State of the Industry Spectator Sports Tourism report from Sports ETA, the industry generated $114.4 billion in economic impact, along with $8.5 billion in state and local tax revenue. This is a lot to take in, I know. So taking a step back, Sports Planning Guide sits at the intersection of these, of sports, travel, and economic development. And we're proud to provide a platform that informs, connects, and helps the industry move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. That was a really helpful overview, and I think gives us a good bit of trends to look at going forward in 2026 and beyond. And we're very excited for what's to come for Sports Planning Guide. So I will move us on to the next brand, which is Destination Film Guide. So Destination Film Guide is the newest brand in our suite of brands at Premier Travel Media. It's a niche platform that's at the intersection of film production and destination marketing. So we spotlight film-friendly locations across specifically North America to industry decision makers and put that alongside industry coverage and feature editorial that gives our audience a better idea of what's going on in the film and television production industry and trends they might need to know about. So our content primary goal is to help industry professionals discover locations in North America for future projects, whether that's film, television, documentary, commercials, any range of production projects that you could think of. And in turn, we support film commissions and tourism boards and local CVBs in promoting their destination to the film and television industry. So our audience, our readers, Destination Film Guide include film and television producers, location scouts, and location managers, directors, and other professionals in the industry, as well as those working at studios or on independent production teams. So the editorial focus of Destination Film Guide is there's a few different pillars within this. Our primary focus, as I mentioned, is film-friendly locations in North America. So what that includes would be the best places to film in a destination, whether it's a city or as wide as, an entire state, past productions that have filmed there, so that our readers can get an idea of what they might do or take inspiration from. And we provide local contacts that can help from the local film office or tourism board that can help out with those who are looking to kick off a film or television production in that location. Other important editorial focuses we have are incentives and grants. So what tax incentives or rebates are available in a location that can help offset some of the costs. Production infrastructure. So what studios are available in the location, what kind of crew support is there, how accessible is it, how does one travel to the location, all that kind of critical information that you'd want to know. And then finally, there's industry trends. So we feature a range of editorial on our website and in our print magazine that covers kind of what's at the heartbeat of the industry and what's trending and what we feel that our audience would need to know about in order to kind of push the needle forward and enhance whatever project it is that they're working on. Our strategy is to look at where productions are filming, look at what's going on within the production landscape of North America, and see what destinations are up and coming, and also work with those that approach us and would like some additional support in presenting themselves to the production industry as a film-friendly location. We're proud of the storytelling that we do to really bring these destinations to life and show why they make ideal film or television locations. And we also focus on incentives and industry trends that would be critical to know about if you're in the film and television industry. When it comes to working with the destinations that are promoted through Destination Film Guide, which include film offices, convention and visitors bureaus, state or regional tourism offices, we have several different channels that we deliver value through. One of our kind of pillars is our annual print magazine, which is also online as a digital magazine, and the content appears online on our website year-round. And that's distributed to over 10,000 readers. We also have our biweekly e-newsletter, which goes out to 4,500 subscribers. And then our website serves as a year-round source of content and inspiration where readers can go to look for information on filming locations, incentives, and contacts within the industry. And then we promote all of this on our social media channels throughout the year. So some emerging trends that we're seeing in the North American production landscape include a few different things. One is that decisions on where to film within North America, that's US, Canada, Mexico, Caribbean, are guided by a few things, but one of the primary ones is the availability of incentives. On our website and our magazine, we do a heavy focus on what incentives are available per state or per country and how those can be taken advantage of and what's needed to take advantage of them. So that kind of informs why we put such a heavy emphasis on that. Many states and regions and countries are continuing to shape the incentives that they offer, and we're seeing continually, month after month, different updates on new incentives that are being offered, ways that destinations are trying to make themselves more competitive, specifically to the film and television production industry. There's also a high demand for multi-purpose destinations. So a location that could provide a cityscape, but also naturescape, or a city that could look like another city. Also, we're seeing a lot more collaboration between film offices and tourism boards. So in locations where there exists a separate film office outside of or within the local tourism board, there's more of a collaboration, which just reinforces the importance that productions can play, not just in the overall film landscape, but also in the overall travel and tourism landscape for the destination. We're seeing more destination marketing organizations who want to promote film production as core to their destination, and they want to be seen as film friendly. Those two offices are not mutually exclusive. They're working together more than ever. So our content captures all of these trends and focuses on why productions choose a destination, not just on where they film. So for agencies, this translates to a few different insights, and destinations that engage with the film industry gain medium-term and also long-term exposure and marketing opportunities, which further supports the overall travel and tourism landscape within them. And with that, I will hand it back over to Heather, who will close us out with a look at destination reunions.
Thank you, Courtney. So Destination Reunions is a niche platform that focuses on multi-generational family travel and reunion planning. Our audience is made up of mostly family decision makers, often Gen X and baby boomers, who are usually the ones responsible for bringing together large groups, often across multiple households and generations. But it also includes travel advisors who specialize in family trips and organizing experiences that connect generations. Now, this audience is unique because they're not just booking a trip, right? They're coordinating a shared experience. And it can often be overwhelming to organize something that balances different ages and interests, budgets, and expectations, all while trying to create the best trip possible for everyone. And that's where we come in and help multi-generational groups plan these successful reunions. Our content is centered around helping families plan with confidence in a way that feels clear and manageable. And we cover everything from destination ideas and resort recommendations to vacation rentals, group-friendly activities and attractions, and budgeting strategies. And we also highlight properties and locations that simplify logistics. We build our content strategy around high intent search and what families are actively looking for when they're planning reunions. We do this through long form destination guides as well as keyword focus features and evergreen planning resources that include things like downloadable checklists and timetables for planning reunions. In terms of reach, our annual guide reaches about 60,000 reunion planners and travel advisors. We have a bi-weekly e-newsletter and a consistent social media presence. And we also just launched a new luxury-focused newsletter, which targets affluent families who are seeking a more high-end experience. From a partnership perspective, our audience comprises high-value and undervalued decision makers who coordinate travel for entire groups. What we found is that the content that simplifies planning and reduces stress performs the best. One, because these trips touch on multiple aspects, including lodging, activities, dining, transportation. There's numerous opportunities for brand integration. Now, much like student travel, we're seeing clear trends in how families are planning trips today. These trends show a continued rise in multi-generational travel, as well as grandparents taking their grandchildren on vacation without pets. In fact, the boomer generation, age 60 to 80, holds 65% of household wealth in the US, and we understand that this undervalued audience needs attention. At the same time, there's growing interest on the other end of the cost spectrum for more affordable group travel options. And our content is designed to reflect and support both of these interests. And we do this by focusing on the why behind family travel decisions, not just where to go, but what really makes a destination truly work for a mixed age, multi-generational group. There's also been a shift toward experience-driven reunions, where the focus is less on gathering in one place and more about creating shared experiences together. Another trend we've seen is what's called kidfluence travel, where kids and younger family members are having more of a say in deciding where to go and what to experience. There's still strong demand for flexible itineraries that can accommodate multiple ages with family-friendly options. So in one word, destination reunions is about connection. And when you pair emotional storytelling and practical guidance and expert planning resources, that's where we see the strongest engagement and trust.
Thank you, Heather. That was a really nice overview of a unique audience, a segment within Destination Reunions, and we're excited for the launch of the new newsletter that you mentioned together, which covers the luxury travel market. So with that, that wraps up a look at our 5 main Premier Travel Media brands. So I will hand it back over to Jeff to wrap up the session and share a few closing thoughts.
Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Dave, Chris, and Heather. Wonderful job. So to close this out, I think the uniqueness of Premier Travel Media is the individual brands, and hopefully you were able to get some takeaways about what we're working on and our approach to these different markets. At the same time, they all work together as part of a cohesive media strategy, and there's some similarities to how we do things. I think more so than anything, the dedication of the people behind these brands. The folks that you heard from today are where the rubber meets the road. These are the ones that create the digital publications, drive the newsletters, are working with clients on content programs, and the value that they create in this marketplace is insurmountable. So thank you for your time today. If you are interested in learning more about Premier Travel Media, there's contact information directly on the screen, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for your time. You can find us at ptmgroups.com or call us at 630-794-0696. Check us out on LinkedIn by searching Premier Travel Media.